Bookie, Brooke, and the boys. Of course, we got Bookie, Brooke here, and we're the boys. It's a big day. Husker Nation, big noon kickoff going on right now. Nebraska has a chance to end a 25-game winning streak or a losing streak against ranked team, which feels crazy. I saw that Rutgers has a 40-game losing streak against ranked team, which makes me feel a little bit better. But 25, still a crazy number. But that's not all that we're here for. How you doing, fellas? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Happy freaking Saturday, boys.
Does anybody have
Football's back.
real quick? Does anybody have it worse than Oklahoma State fans?
I don't know any Oklahoma State fans.
That's probably
That
for the
Ollie
best.
Gordon hurdle last night? Love it. I love a good hurdle.
Man, that would have been awesome to see them take down fucking the Mormons last week.
The bandwagon in BYU. It's funny because it only took like half their season getting ruined for them to make a quarterback change, and then they go to Garrett Rangel, and he blows out his collarbone, and now they're back to Bowman.
That's crazy. I saw he
I
got
didn't
hurt,
know
but
that.
I wasn't watching. I didn't know he fucking broke his collarbone.
Something like that. It's tough stuff, but I don't know who has it worse. Not us. Nebraska's great. I'm gonna beat up on Indiana today. How are we feeling about the big game?
Nervous.
Very
It's
nervous.
going to be fun, right? Right, Brooke?
I hope.
Maybe.
It's going to be fun.
If we
It's gonna
win,
be
it'll be fun. If we lose, I don't think I'll have too much fun.
I saw Tommy Hill's playing, so that's good news.
That's like.
Thank God.
I'm curious how if he'll get all the snaps like usual, or if he'll just.
We need him
We'll
to.
see. That's the thing is he was supposed to play the Rutgers game, and then he played like the first series and then was not heard from again. So
Yeah.
that worries me.
I mean, as long as he can move, I think he plays the whole game like normal. If he's limited in his ability to run, then you start talking about pulling him.
I'm also curious how they'll get him on the field because you can't take Zaire right off the field at this point. And Buford, I mean, he had his poor moments last week, but it feels crazy to take him off the field. And I mean, I would circle him over to safety and take Hartzog off. But even Hartzog's gotten a lot better over the last few weeks, so it's tough to take any of those, especially
I
single
think-
digit guys. That's crazy.
I think the weak link is Buford, unfortunately, but I don't think they'll switch any of the safeties out for.
Yeah, they run a lot of 3 wide receiver looks though, right?
Yeah,
So then everybody's out there regardless. So
I bet we'll play a lot of zone today. That's kind of Tony White's MO. So you'll see a lot of Gifford and Singleton in coverage, and obviously Hartzog will line up on guys if when need be. Because Hartzog, I think his first 2 years was just straight cornerback, so he can line up on guys and get after him. But more so, they have him at safety this year, which is kind of interesting. But see how that goes.
oh yeah,
Can't wait. All right, well, let's hop into it. Bookie Brook last week, an interesting week. Interesting week. I enjoyed Brett's presence. I did not enjoy having to look up what happened in the Major League Soccer and the WNBA finals. So I'm happy to get a week off of that. He did, shocker, have a losing week. Hate to
do you
see
look
it.
at that fucking 86 cents?
I mean, yeah, the smallest margin I've ever seen, and I was mostly in part to the $33 that you won on the Genty anytime touchdown. So
Hell yeah.
good on you there. Texas came through, no sweat there, and then the Guardians. And I know I spelled that wrong. I made peace with it. I have no intention on changing it. We made my peace there. Brooke had he picked more winners than losers, but
The wrong
unfortunately,
ones.
it's the big ones.
Dude, if you most of the time, if you miss your $500 one, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
It's tough to bounce back from. Tough to bounce back
Unfortunately.
from. Yeah, Texas
Cortland
was a
Sutton?
big winner. Cortland Sutton anytime touchdown kept
Paid
me
out
above
that
water.
heavy?
Yeah, 320
What
on
the
a $300 bet.
Wait, so am I reading this right? So I hit my first 3. Brandon hit 2 and 3.
Yep.
Yeah, but I guess that Cortland Sutton anytime touchdown paid out at 320.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
It's also a good time to hit the anytime touchdown for him, considering he didn't do shit on Thursday. So
Yeah, but we won. Beat
we won. Broncos
Matt.
are back. It was a very good day to accidentally start Javonte Williams. I had every intention on benching him this week, but I forgot they played on Thursday, so good to go.
Dude,
How
I was
about
going through it on Thursday with the Mets and the Broncos playing. I know you guys got an earful. I was basically just screaming in a room all by myself while you guys were looking in the windows. I was alive and dead, mostly dead, sometimes alive multiple times throughout that night. So it wasn't great.
Now let me ask you this: would you have rather the Mets won that game with no other guarantees on what happens the rest of the series, or guarantee a Nebraska win today?
So, my internet's out. I'm not answering that. I can't answer that.
so?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
the
that's-
Mets. Is
It's the
the
Mets. It's the Mets.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
That's crazy because this guy questioned my loyalties as a Nebraska fan. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. I have, but that's not what I meant. I was more so like, are you having fun watching this anymore? Like, that's all I care about is you having fun watching it.
I have to imagine Brooke doesn't have any fun watching football anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Nebraska's been torturous to watch, and even the Kansas City Chiefs, literally nothing matters until January.
Thank you.
Dude, he fucking looks at me and says it to me all damn time. How is this fun for you?
But see, this is what, like, I mean, you guys don't have the luxury of understanding this, and I get that, but I miss being in the foxhole, like, really caring every week whether or not my NFL team wins or loses. So, like, it sucks that I'm like, if we
You're the
win, great.
fucking worst.
I
You
I mean
are
that in the most
the worst.
sincere way.
No, like,
I
it
know you
genuinely,
do.
Brandon,
I
you
can
understand
feel
what
it.
I'm saying, correct?
yeah, it's a bummer. And I take, and that's the only solace I have in being a Chiefs hater is that,
And
like,
I
I know
know it's
you don't,
and
it
and it's
matter.
not like I'm rubbing it in anyone's faces that we're winning. I'm just kind of like, I'm just kind of coasting along until it actually matters, and then, but at the same time, it's like, man, it's like back in
It's
the
not
Alex
enjoyable.
Smith days, I really got up for Chiefs games every week because I knew they mattered, and we were so close to getting over the hump with him, and that's why he'll forever be my GOAT. But
He's still available.
it's
We'll sign
just
him.
like I would equate it to, it would just be like if I was like a Carolina Panthers fan and I knew we were gonna lose every week.
Yeah. No, I
Like-
know.
Like I can't ride the waves that much when I know that like one or two losses isn't gonna kill us.
Yeah, I know that you're being sincere, and I know that you mean that. But I want you to just record yourself saying that and then play it back for yourself and just
I know what
listen
it
to
sounds
how
like.
big
I
of a
know what it sounds like.
douchebag you sound like.
Well, no, I
But
mean,
here's the thing: it's you guys would be saying the same thing if you were in my spot. So I mean, I went through
Yeah.
this with Jake, who was a Patriots fan, and like I remember being all pissed off at him saying that shit. But like it's just true. It's like unfortunately like it is what it is. I mean who else is like undefeated right now or has one loss that we know is getting in?
the Vikings
Yeah.
fans are having a great time.
Yeah. But I mean if they were doing this like for the last 3 years and like they knew like they were going to be in it. Well, they are going to be in it I think at the end of this year with that defense. Like if they drop one, I don't think they're sweating anymore.
I mean, Brandon and I had it for like 3 years back when Peyton first got the Broncos, but I never felt that way. I was always excited to watch.
Yeah, it's
Got 'em.
different, and it's I mean, in Brooks' defense, I think it's way worse because it'll never. You've already peaked. Like the rest of your life, nothing will ever be as good as those early Pat Mahomes years.
That's what I'm saying.
Even Peyton Manning was
I'm
like,
in the
okay, well,
best time of my life. And conversely, I've been on the other side of it where the Chiefs sucked all growing up, and like the Tyler Thigpen years, the Damon Heward years, like that shit's ass. Like that's not fun. But I think it's better than where I'm currently at because at least like I have the draft to look forward to if we're bad, or like upsetting a team. The one year with Tony Gonzalez where we went like 8-8 and we played Peyton Manning in the first round of the playoffs was like when I was growing up, I was so juiced. I was like, I don't know if when they'll get back to the playoffs again. But it's like this, I know we're gonna be in the playoffs every year, and it's like I don't know, riding the highs and lows as a Chiefs fan when like Brandon said, it doesn't start till January. It's just like it's kind of whatever. I'm more so now just locked in on Nebraska.
Go Big Red. Go Big Red. Big slate here this week. Let me clear the board here if anybody wants to get us started.
Oh, what did Brett make?
Brett lost $57.
He went 3 for 5.
3 for 5.
Dude.
Damn. Yeah, missed.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, so really, if you miss your $500 one, you better hit on all the rest of them.
Yeah.
If you're gonna try to stay in the green.
If you miss your 500, you have to hit 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
Shut up, Brett. Whoa.
I mean, he still lost, but sure.
That still stinks. It's not.
But yeah,
it's not
he hit on a fucking WNBA and MLS bet. That's impressive to me.
I guess that's true in a sense. I wouldn't give him that credit, but you're a better brother than I am.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like going back, Brandon, you got to realize when like talking to Tyler, this guy hinges on every play and every pitch of his favorite team. So like, while we're in reality, this guy's in another dimension.
For better or for worse.
Oftentimes for worse. What the hell is that? Where the fuck did that come from?
Because
what did I do?
Well, you sound like such a douchebag for saying you don't care. Where it's like, I feel like Brandon is a realistic fan of the game where it's like,
Again, I said I completely understand what you're saying, and I know that you're being genuine in saying it, but hearing the words come out of anybody's mouth, it sounds like you're being a douche. I'm not saying you are a douche. It just sounds like you are.
I know, but I'm saying you have a different thought process than like...
Yeah, because my teams fucking suck, and it's a battle. Even when I was up 8 runs last night. Continue.
I say you have a different thought process than like me and Brandon. You just care like to the nth degree. We're just way more.
Yeah, it's bad for my health.
And that's why it's like you get really high, but you also get really low. Where it's rather just being even keeled. Not saying one's better than the other.
Well, and also defending Brooke's sentiment as
I can't.
Meow.
Okay, what are you doing now? Gonna go throw up on my computer now?
Hell yeah! Look at that cat.
Because there are some Chiefs fans who have the sentiment like, oh, like they post that meme where it's like, oh, my team's about to start playing. Oh, I'd like to kill myself. Oh, good, the Chiefs won. Like that drives me up the wall, and I don't think
that's just not genuine. If you,
or like, oh, it's, and I don't think Brooke's saying it's so tough being a Chiefs fan, but there is a downside to being so normalized that none of this shit matters.
I will say the only thing that I really do hate about it is that the people online about getting every break and every call, and like there have been some ones where I'm like, yeah, that's just a bad call, but like, oh, the NFL's rigged for Mahomes, like, my God. There's so many people that want the Chiefs to lose now. I did not ever expect that, and that's what throws me for a
That
fucking
is a
loop.
crazy turn.
I
I'm
feel like if
oh.
you are not a diehard Chiefs fan or you don't love Taylor Swift, you want the Chiefs to die. I think there's just no other way around it.
And I see, I mean, that sums it up. Like, I don't care that people want the Chiefs to lose, but for the people that are just like, I want them to die. That's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's me, by the way.
Yeah.
Hands up. That's 100% me. You just described exactly how I feel about the Chiefs.
I mean, that's
all I have.
Crazy to me.
Love Taylor Swift, though. Love Taylor Swift.
Swift.
Thank you for being on this earth, Taylor. Thank you.
He does.
And that's the other thing, because I can't even
Don't say
enjoy
that.
being.
Don't say that. I'm gonna get canceled. They're gonna cancel me if you say that.
Tyler has actually said a lot of slurs and mean things.
Oh,
about Taylor.
dude, here we go. Here we go.
I mean, I'm gonna tell the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
Tyler has smeared her name at every chance he got.
You know what? Brooke texted me yesterday. He goes, "The next chance I get, I'm throwing you under the bus, and I'm gonna run you over that bitch." And here we are.
Yep.
Spoken into existence.
You little rat boy.
Before we get into this, I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
Out of your favorite sports teams, so Brandon, like the Huskers, Broncos, Rockies, Colorado Buffaloes, rank them 1, 2, 3. Most favorite to least favorite.
Huskers are one with like a huge gap afterwards.
Like in parentheses, Colorado Buffaloes, or no?
No. So like credit, you're trying to get me. I see they are on that list somewhere. Not in this current iteration by any stretch of the imagination. But boy, after them, the Broncos. The Broncos are tough because they've made me so apathetic that it's hard to get up in the same way that I used to. Russell Wilson, looking back, it ruined me in that way. It's finally coming back though. So, but the Broncos move me as well as anybody, and then it's a tie between the Nuggets and the Avs. And now they're kind of in a spot where it's like, well, not the regular season is what it is. It's fun to watch them, but now it's just championship aspirations, not to the level of where my fandom's ruined by their success, but them. And then, yeah, I guess I'm trying to get to a point where the Mets are above the Rockies, but that's some unwiring that I have to do because the Rockies will never win a championship in my life.
They might never win more than 10 games in a season ever again. So
yeah,
Brandon, but it'll feel so good when they're good again. I know it may not be for a while, but
60 games and then they'll trade whoever else again, or it's such a losing battle. But I guess that they would be at the 5 spot just by default. Mets right behind them. Pre-prime Buffaloes are up there in this spot.
Boo.
TCU's also there. Iowa State's also there. So there's
all right. I said 5. Damn it.
Okay, my bad. I'm just throwing out some honorable mentions.
You started this. You let him go down this fucking rabbit hole.
I was like, oh, it's going to be only a couple teams. I didn't know he was going to list every single team that's ever been formed.
Well, Brandon's also a world traveler, so he's lived a lot of places where he has emotional connections to.
All right,
so
Brandon.
I get that. I get that.
Give me your top 10.
Oh, boys.
Your favorite teams.
Favorite teams: Nebraska, Broncos,
mm-hmm.
Avs, Nuggets.
Yeah.
Rockies, Mets.
Yeah.
Iowa State, TCU, pre-prime Buffs, and whoever's playing Iowa.
Okay, that's a good list.
It makes me so happy that Brandon put the Rockies ahead of the Mets.
No, they're on the same level.
No, he said Rockies first.
One's trending down, one's trending up.
Right. So
I'm wired as a Rockies fan, is what I grew up with, but I'm actively trying to break that.
He's about to jump ship, is what he's saying.
I'm trying my very hardest.
I don't think I'm ready for a world in which the Mets are World Series champions. I don't think I'm prepared for that.
We'll get to that. Brooke, I would like you to do something similar, if you will, please.
What? What is that?
Like what Brandon just did.
Nah. My teams are my teams.
So you're not going to rank them?
Oh, you want me to rank mine?
Yeah.
Nebraska 1.
Go Big Red.
Chiefs 2. But I do really care about the Cubs. I'd say 2A and 2B there. And then after that, I don't know. I do care heavily about Nebraska basketball. I'm passionate about that.
Okay. I know that you're an all-around Husker fan where most people are just football. So if you wanted to list those
Red
out,
through and through.
it's a beautiful thing. Absolutely beautiful thing.
And here's the thing. I really, like, I do put on the facade of, like, fuck Creighton. But, like, as long as none of their fans, like, bother me, I do kind of want to see them do well. But just know I'm ready to pop off at a moment's notice with the Creighton slander.
If I wear something Creighton and I look at Brooke wrong, he's coming at me so fast.
Yep. Well, Luke and I used to have some good battles back in the day, but, like, nowadays he's, like, my biggest ally, and that's why I want to see Creighton do well. But, like, some of the Creighton fans are so fucking insufferable. They think they truly believe, like, Creighton's like a blue blood now after 2 or 3 years of success, and that's pretty annoying.
And I just know that you have Jay Skur ready to go, like your favorite slogan.
Yeah. I'll just
Brooke, never
ahead.
Forget the time that that we all went to the Nebraska Creighton game. And
that might be the best day of my whole life, to be in the clink and watch Nebraska kill that Elite Eight Jays team was just chef's kiss.
That was all because of me. I'm glad I could make it happen for you.
Beat them by fucking 10 on their home court. So their best year in school history, they still got beat on their home court by their in-state rival, by their big brother. So.
Oh, man. I love it. I love it.
Tough.
Can't wait for basketball to be back.
Oh, man. I'm a sicko for college basketball.
I also throw on Terrence Crawford on my list. I know he's not a team, but I ride for him.
I was in Dallas when he fought Earl Spence, dude, and we were letting them motherfuckers hear it when he knocked him out.
I can only imagine. Well, I had the same thought because there's a boxing bar right down the road from me. I'm like, there's no way I can go and not get in any trouble.
Dude, it was heavily, like, I would say on the same level of Omaha loves Crawford, Dallas loves Earl Spence, and, like, they were big mad when he lost.
Belt to ass.
It was so funny to see the Cowboys players there because one of my favorite moments every year is when the Cowboys lose in the playoffs and they show the crowd and they're so surprised that they couldn't believe that this is possibly happening. And now it's the Cowboys players with that expression. So that was unbelievable. What a night. Yeah, Terrence Crawford's top. Yeah, he's top 5.
Yeah. That shit gets me going. I'm big into, like, UFC now too, so, like, combat sports are fun to watch.
They're brutal sometimes, though.
Yeah, it's a tough watch, but man, they're fun. Nothing like 2 grown men just beating the shit out of each other.
What about you, Springs? What's your top 5?
The Mets are number 1. They've always been number 1. It's not just because they're doing well this year. Brooke knows that team kills me every night. Like last night we were watching, they were up 8 runs, and I'm like, I don't feel good. He goes, what are you talking about? And then boom, immediately back-to-back home runs or whatever happened. And I'm like, yeah, see. Or they just continue to walk everybody. Just give up 17 walks a game. So the Mets, number 1. I think in recent years it's shifted because it used to be Mets number 1, Broncos number 2, Huskers number 3. But as being on the show and just caring more about college football, that's switched in the last couple of years. So Huskers number 2, Broncos number 3. And then the Caps number 4, I suppose. I just don't get to watch hockey all that often. Creighton probably there. And then I do like Kansas basketball for some reason. Shout out
You're
Jerry
the
Sprinkle.
worst.
I
You're
mean,
the worst.
you grow up and you like the teams that your dad likes, right? So
For
here we
sure.
are. Thankfully, he fucking picked at least one good one.
Brandon, Tyler is the only one out of the three of us that didn't say Nebraska won. Do we have to start calling him CB Tyler?
That's fucking rude. Baseball is my favorite sport, though. Always has been.
Fair.
And it's something to be said with the Huskers are trending up.
Yeah.
They're trending.
Yeah. It's not a large gap. Actually, no. It's not a large gap, but there's a decent gap there.
Yeah,
just
he's
I love
trying to
baseball so
cover his
much.
bases. It's a large gap, you could say.
Dude, when you sit there and hand up this year, I couldn't. I had to stop. But if you sit there and you watch 140, 150 baseball games every year for your team, like, there's some dedication that goes into it.
For sure.
That is a different world.
Yeah. So, yeah, you watch them grow and rip your heart out night after night, and then get the purple guy and the Haku'a girl.
That epitomizes Tyler's psychoness.
Yeah.
Watching the Mets every night.
Yeah, like I said, I couldn't do it this year. Like in halfway through June, I was like, I can't watch these guys play anymore. It was tough. Or no, it was early June. I was like, I can't. Yeah. Anyway, sorry to derail us. We can get into the.
That was a good conversation.
Yeah, that was fun. And I can't believe we've never done that before.
Yeah.
That sounds like, or that feels like something we should have done in the off season when we didn't have anything to talk about.
Yeah, that feels like
but that's not organic. I love the.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. It does feel like the generic. This is our second podcast episode. Here's the sports teams that we like.
Yeah.
So it probably worked out.
We're just like a year and a half too late on it.
Yeah. That's probably for the best. It would have sounded like shit if we had done anything like that then.
Yeah. We'll get
also shout out all the viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into childhood traumas and families later at a different day.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Who wants to get us started on the big board today?
Give me $100 bet. Give me Nebraska plus 6.5. Let's go. Let's get after it. Put my balls on the table.
Oh man, I need it. You know what? I'll take that too.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean, a touchdown's a big margin for a team that I don't know anything about, and like it also feels like Indiana could roll Nebraska. Like that's not an out of this world possibility, but there's also a world where Nebraska blows them out, or they lose by single digits or one score again, which would be just fine in this instance. But
I'll take South Carolina money line for my $100 bet.
Thank goodness. I was going to say if Brooke takes them, we're in trouble.
I couldn't mush it. I don't want to mush it. And it's like when all of the people on TV pick the same team to win the Sunday night game. You're like, well, they're losing.
Yeah. I do have my $200 one ready to rock.
Let's roll.
I'm going to take Illinois money line.
Whoa.
Interesting. I don't hate that.
I don't think Michigan's that good. They're on the road. As long as Illinois can just tackle the running back, I think they're going to win this game pretty easy. You have 150?
Yeah. What do you have?
I'm seeing 160, but if you're on like an actual sports book, then I'd go with that.
Yeah.
Just looking at the score app.
I see. I'm going to take, just because we talked about it earlier, this was one of my favorite games, one of the best games in college football. So give me the Houston, Kansas under 45.5.
That's a sicko play.
Oh, man.
Something about Houston, Kansas really just gets Brandon going.
So, Brandon, I want you to look through this slate and just realize how many games you could have put in there over Houston, Kansas when we were doing our pick'em. I just want you to realize your mistake.
Just wants to rub your nose in it.
Well, I don't think there were too many. I think the big one obviously missing was Georgia, Texas, but I don't think there was a crazy huge slate. I guess South Carolina, Oklahoma, but South Carolina, Oklahoma feels almost like the same game, but just SEC branded.
True.
I missed that one too. Yeah, you know what? You might be onto something. Wait, no, that was on the sheet.
For
That was
my
on the sheet.
$200 bet at a principal, I have to go Missouri -3. I'll buy the hook.
All
I
right.
can't bet on them anymore. It was like 4 straight times I bet on them, and they lost.
But I don't believe in Hugh Freeze like whatsoever. So you're telling me they got to go on the road and beat a ranked Missouri team? Like, no way.
Yeah, that's tough.
But
Yeah.
what do I know?
What do we think about Louisville? +5.
I kind of
Louisville.
like them.
I like them a lot.
At home. But Miami's coming off a bye.
I don't know. I don't know how much that matters.
Yeah, because
Like,
I don't.
This is a game Louisville has circled on their schedule.
Yeah. Is it technically a rivalry game?
I mean, it's a
ACC clash. I don't know if it's a true
significant
rivalry.
conference game. Yeah, I don't know if it's. Yeah, I don't know if I chalk it up like that. But I mean, it's a huge game. Probably bigger for Louisville now that they already have a loss to their resume. I mean, in the Ash Cheeks conference, you can't lose too many games and make the at-large bids.
Yeah. Brandon, could I ask you to do me a favor? Could you move the Illinois one to 300 and then put Colorado money line on there?
Damn, I was going to put that on mine too.
I'm hoping that this is just I can mush Colorado to lose.
No, I just think Colorado's like that.
Is Travis Hunter playing?
I believe so, from what I've heard.
Yeah, he's not on the injury report, so he must be.
I'm glad that you brought that game up because I didn't have that on my radar, and I really like Arizona. I think Noah Fafita could throw for 700 yards today. I think that's on the table.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and put that on the sheet. Also, shout out to the doofuses on that Kansas State podcast who said that they were going to roll Colorado because Nebraska stinks and Kansas State is so much better than Colorado. They needed a last-second comeback to win by 3 points. I mean, imagine playing Colorado and having it be within even 3 scores. That'd be embarrassing. Luckily, Arizona won't have that problem either.
I'm kind of lost. There's a lot of games on this slate.
None that are really like, oh, I need to bet this game.
I have my $500 one. I'll throw this out there.
Hell yeah.
Let's hit it.
Arkansas money line. Titties Pittman for the win, baby.
Ooh. I like that.
Man, that's only a 2.5 point spread.
Yeah.
LSU stinks. Man.
I have my next one ready to roll.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Give me Patriots Jaguars and give me the Lunder.
That's so disgusting.
Dude, the total's 42.5. I feel like that's really high for a London game.
That's
albeit it
a
did
disgusting
cash
game.
last week. This one, yuck.
I also like an under. This one, I feel like we haven't had it on the sheet for a while, which as a regular winner last year, give me Iowa, Michigan State under 39.5.
Yuck.
This also kind of, I'm skeptical to like really speak on this just because of how big of an Iowa hater I am. So I don't know how much like objectiveness goes into this. But watch out for Michigan State. They're at home, primetime game.
Yeah. The whole world is on Iowa. I was looking at that one. All right. So I'm gonna fill my card out here real quick. I just need you guys to stay with me for a minute.
Let's run.
All right.
All right. So the $300 play is Texas, Georgia over.
Mm.
And then for my $400 bet, something real nasty is Nebraska. It's a parlay.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
Nebraska +7 and Colorado money line.
Ooh.
If that one hits, that'll get me back into the race.
I like it.
Whoa.
It's a bold move.
Good
Ooh,
luck
boy.
with the odds on that one, Brandon.
Oh, yeah. Let me find that here real quick.
If I had to guess, plus 275, 300.
So we got 304. So it'd pay out 1523.
Hell.
That's a big one.
Let's
All
go.
right. Oh boy. Was it? I mean, Brooke was kind of talking me into Army minus 16.5.
They're just, I don't know, like everybody comes back down to earth eventually. But East Carolina, I saw someone say like they give up on average 300 rushing yards a game.
Oh my.
It's so
So-
nasty. Oh boy, I'm torn.
What are you torn between?
I'm torn between Missouri and Louisville. I feel real good about both of those spots.
I'd go Louisville.
4.5. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I was gonna put them on my card, but it got away from me quickly. But I think that's the right spot.
And I'm actually going to swap out my Arizona 2.5. No, I'm not. I'm going to swap out Iowa, Michigan State for Missouri.
All right.
I think. I mean, I know Missouri really laid an egg, but they have better players than
That's
Texas
what
right now.
that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like we could look up in the third quarter and Missouri's up 21 and we're like, I don't know. I just don't see a world in which Auburn keeps this close, but that could just be me being dumb.
Tell me why I shouldn't bet UCLA Rutgers under 41.5.
I don't know. You love unders, man. I'm not going to talk you into that.
And that just sounds like such a shitty game with how Rutgers is hurt and how bad UCLA is. Fuck it. Give me that.
I saw
Rutgers under
UCLA
41.5.
hasn't scored 20 points in a game yet, so
That's awesome.
What was the point total?
47.5.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so many points.
Yeah.
what
I
time's
mean-
that game at?
I think it's an early game. Yeah, 11 a.m.
Yeah, that
It's-
game rocks.
No, it's 42, it says.
Oh. Yeah, it was 41.5, not 47. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
It's still
Still a lot.
a pretty big number for two teams that stink
Yeah.
scoring the football. All right, fellas. But we got a good slate. Lots
All
of
winners.
all winners. Lots of ugly football on the sheet, so I respect that. Hopefully Nebraska comes through with us.
Come on.
We need it. We need it. To be bowl eligible and to be 6-1 and we'll be ranked next week is a fever dream.
Going into Ohio State.
Oh gosh, back-to-back Big Noon kickoffs.
I'm telling you, if we win this one,
Watch out.
I think you saw it with Alabama and Tennessee. When they both lost those games, their very next games they struggled, right? And
Yeah.
you think with our team that needs some confidence, if we go on the road and beat a ranked Indiana, we'll be our team's confidence got to be at an all-time high. So I know it would be a thin chance, but this would set us up to be in the fight against Ohio State, I think.
Yeah, it feels like it doesn't feel like we would win, but it feels like we wouldn't just be going into the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Like
I don't want to
we
scare
feel
you
like
guys, but if we lose this one, we're very much staring down the barrel of being 5-3
Yeah.
and at the
Very
same
much
spot
so.
we were last year.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be. I mean, at least we still have UCLA on the schedule, but
We
I mean,
do.
even 6-6 feels like we left a lot of meat on the bone.
With this schedule, like, yeah, I mean, anything less than 8 wins would feel like leaving meat on the bone.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Any
We got
final
it.
thoughts?
Go Big
We're
Red.
going to do it. Go
Go
Big
Big
Red.
Red.
Come on.